administration, and I think I'd like to see them come back here as department heads and tell us what they're going to do to make this work.
Like just in years past, they've been reluctant, and I don't blame them for identifying areas to cut. You know, because sometimes it gets misinterpreted as being, oh, we can cut this. But in essence, we're cutting services. And each department head is not looking at it from a broader perspective as we have to. They think the department is providing a vital service to the community, which it is, and that's what they're focused on. Whereas we haven't given the administration necessarily the guidance of where are our priorities at this point, so that if cuts are going to be made, who's going to be held harmless? I mean, some of the departments basically held harmless because you can't operate with any fewer people. And you have, some of your inspectional services are down in the finance area and things of that nature. They can't necessarily be touched because you can't operate with any fewer people. Whereas in other areas, it's a question of what services we deliver and which ones go in what order. And how much can be realized in savings by those types of cuts. Maybe we should be assisting the administration in prioritizing at this point. Letting department heads know what's on the chopping block up front in case there's a financial fiscal disaster, pending disaster here, and then it kind of brings it full circle. We're looking at the bigger picture rather than this piecemeal approach, and then we sift through it after the fact.
Greg, what are your thoughts? What do you think is the best?
Well, right now, the budget projections that we've put together, basically, we haven't leveled off them. So we don't have any more money available for budgetary purposes for 2011 than we have this year. So I think all the department heads have an understanding that that represents the high watermark in the budget process. Ultimately, whether there are cuts that come from that still remains to be seen. But I just think in the past, I certainly have gotten the message that when the board has established what its priorities are, we're responsive to that, and we can certainly go ahead and make any revisions. I'm just wondering if the appropriate time to do that is after you've met with the departments and have the full understanding of what the impact is on their budget, then that's the opportunity for the board to maybe provide some additional input at that time.
Just an approach. Yeah.
No. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking the same thing as you, Bob, but I'll say it and then we'll find out if I am. If we have all the department heads, review what they have to do, if we give them a dollar amount on what their budget is based on 2009, what you just described, they should come back to us and say, okay, if we do that, we're going to have to give up or deduct some departments or some services and so on, and these are the ramifications. However, they can also come back with a suggestion or a recommendation, I would think, and say, however, if we do an adjustment of 0.5%, we can save this, this, and this, or this job's too important for us to lose. If we get that information from us, that creates our big picture, and then we can act accordingly. So that's how I look at it. So I don't know if I'm on the same.
It's pretty much the same. I mean, basically, you get this amount of money, and I want to know what you're going to do to make it fit, or what has to be adjusted. And that helps us determine where the issues are, and then we're going to make some decisions on the priorities.
But we're talking about some of the other variables here. When we talk about collective bargaining settlements, I mean, we've been fortunate where most of the unions have agreed to pretty much hold status quo and agree to a salary freeze in the current fiscal year, which has certainly helped us and greatly appreciated. But we have, healthcare costs. We don't know what the retirement
We should
retirement.
we should have a better confirmation on the insurance increase in January.
And, again, keeping in mind that we made an adjustment on the health insurance plan this year to our employees, which the vast majority of it approved and agreed upon, which again saved us a substantial amount of money. Don't know that that's in the mix again. You know, we have some of these variables that are big dollar amounts, particularly on the general government
Well,
side.
I think that, I'm not trying to let town administrator off the hook here. He's got a budget, basically, and he's got to make some decisions on the top priority items associated with that budget, in terms of the benefits and salary pool, if there's going to be a salary pool, et cetera, and the rest is distributed. This is what's left for your operating budgets. And then I think it's a starting point. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? I mean, if you go and just say, okay, put a budget together as to what you'd like, I mean, it's not going to serve any useful purpose at this point. I think we need to identify how we're going to maintain a level of service, and if there's some change in a program or something that they want to do different that's going to save us something or provide a better service for the same expenditure, it's up to the department heads to present that to us. At least that's how I view it.
I'd rather us or town administrator give each department, this is your dollar amount. Show the board how you're going to make that work. Steve, I guess I just don't quite understand it. You want us to, your suggestion is to have us prioritize where we want to spend our money, where we may want to make cuts.
I think we can reasonably assume, if we have the same dollar amount, and the assumption we're using right now, we have the same number of dollars going into fiscal year 2011 as we do currently. 2010, our costs of doing business are going up, not down. So therefore, there has to be some sort of a reduction in services, manpower, and alike. That being the case, and that's devoid of any collective bargaining agreements
Right.
that may be reached. So just further cuts into it. So if that's the case, which appears to be, then we should be anticipating that cuts are going to have to be made somewhere.
Well, maybe, but the department head may be able to identify areas where they could save money by doing things differently. And in a particular department where we may suggest there needs to be a cut, we won't have to make a cut. I think they're better suited to know how their dollars could and should be spent. If they identify an area that they wish to make a cut and that we don't agree, we can make an adjustment as we had last year in certain areas.
We may be deciding in certain areas, we may want to be expanding certain services, which have an upfront cost associated with it. And it's going to have to be at the expense of some other service.
Correct.
Or maybe how
In
dollars are
most of our
allocated.
minds, we know what we're talking about here, and have pretty good ideas to.
Or maybe how the dollars are allocated within that department.
That's fine. There appears to be a consensus. I'm done.
Do you have enough?
And we're very early in the process, but we've identified that we have cost increases in a number of our fixed cost areas, and as we've done in the past, our goal is to fund those, to fully fund those going forward. And that's what we'll do. And then the municipal budgets and ultimately the school budget, whatever amounts remain, then those will be distributed in the same percentage that we've done in the past.
We'll move on to the next item.
Numbers 6, 7, 8, and 9 are informational only. Do not intend to address them this evening. That concludes my report.
Okay. Any questions for the TA? Old and new business? wanna start, Sean?
Start, it's easy. Nothing this evening other than wish everyone a healthy and safe and prosperous New Year.
My words.
You know what Mr. Delaney said?
Wow.
Wish everybody a safe, happy, and prosperous New Year.
I think we're still recovering from the holiday.
Yes, obviously, I echo that. Happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year for everyone. But I also want to thank Greg Belliaconis on the work that he's put together on the snow removal, getting everybody to work together and collaboratively in such a way that we're going forward on something that I think is going to be very positive for the community. So, thank you very much.
Steve?
Mr. Delaney's and everybody else's sentiments as far as the new year. Hopefully it's a good one. And also I'd like to remind people that our next meeting is going to be on Tuesday the 19th, but there's also a special election that's being held for the vacancy of late Senator Ted Kennedy. I would urge everybody to participate in the process. I would urge you to, if you're going to be out of town, or you think the weather's going to hold you back, contact the town clerk's office and go in and vote absentee ballot. Those who can go in and vote over the counter up until noontime the day before. And you can submit your application and mail it to your household, so please participate. With that.
You might mention where the election's gonna be again.
Oh, and the election will be held once again at, all 4 precincts will be at St. Teresa's Church.
Noontime the Friday before, the day before the
It's gonna
holiday.
be interesting.
That's right, so it'll be the Friday before, that's right. That's right, 'cause Monday before is the election, that's right, so it'll be Friday, noontime Friday. Will be available at the town clerk's office. Again, all precincts will be voting at St. Teresa's Church.
Not the only items I had, 2 of them we've already covered, which was the budget schedule and the snow and ice. Goals. Review, Greg, of your goals and an update. Perhaps we could spend some time talking about board's goals and see how they mesh within the TA's goals for this coming year.
Taller snorkels.
Well, yeah,
Stay
right.
Above water here.
I mean, the concern I have is that we, last year, we got totally inundated with time on the budget, and this year, we're gonna be going through the same thing, and it seems like we no sooner get through what'll be a June town meeting to finish the budget, we're back into October. And I'm just thinking that perhaps we should try to make some time somewhere in the process to set some goals.
Yeah.
And we did have a good off-site meeting a year and a half ago, and I'd like to see if we could schedule another one of those sometime this year. Perhaps at our next meeting, maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. Give everyone time to think about it and what we might want to do. But I think we do need to set some goals above and beyond balancing our budget for by 2011.
That's an achievement unto itself.
I haven't heard any, I have not heard any more about cuts for this fiscal year. Steve, you connected to the halls of,
Not yet, but as a matter
state.
of fact, the revenue
Is-
projections have been underestimated, which is a good thing. Still haven't closed the state gap projections. Cash revenues collected the last couple of months have been in excess of projections, which is a positive sign. We hope that it continues. So, nothing yet.
we did have a financial planning team meeting. We did discuss the budget process. The school department is working on their budget as we speak, and I think there's a big challenge coming up associated with the budget. I don't think it'll be an 8.7% or 7.8% increase this coming year, but I suspect that it's pretty substantial.
You don't think it will be that?
I don't think it'll be quite that